Hello, hello, hello. I'm Jessica Yvonne, your book bae, coming on with a quick book review today. I hope this video finds you well. So I just wrapped up the book Whispers of the Lake. It was so good. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. This book, let me read the synopsis for you, and they'll give you kind of a idea if you want to pick it up. So this book came out this year, I think just this month, I believe. So let's get into it. Investigative reporter Rose Howard is exhausted from trying to manage her seemingly perfect life. With her marriage to the man she thought was her one true love collapsing, she desperately needs one thing to go right. While striving for a promotion to senior reporter, Rose finds her efforts are interrupted when she learns her former best friend and travel vlogger, Eve, isn't responding to attempts to contact her at the North Carolina cottage she's reviewing. Rose knows Eve can be flaky and irresponsible, and after Eve breaks the ultimate ethical friendship code and crosses boundaries to the point of no return, Rose wants nothing to do with her. Still, Rose heads to the tranquil small town of Sage Hill. Rose soon discovers that Eve has vanished without her purse and passport. Even after booking a trip abroad, the personable cabin owner's accounts of Eve's stay just don't add up, and most of the town's initially hospitable inhabitants become increasingly less helpful. So it's described as a shocking, sensual thriller. So, as the back states, Rose is like the main character. Her name is actually Rosette in the book, but they call her Rose for short. Her best friend, or former best friend, Eve, has done the unthinkable to her. So she has distanced herself from her friend because she just can't forgive her at this very moment. But when her friend or her ex-friend's sister Zoe reaches out to her about her concerns, about, her not posting, about her not getting back with her, about just her silence, they know something's wrong because that is not her normal pattern. And so Rose goes into investigative mode because she's grown up with Eve. She knows Eve. Eve was raised by her grandparent due to some things that went on in the household with her birth parents. And so they are deeply connected, like many of us have become when we have certain childhood friends and we grow up and we see them go through adversity and other things, they're like family to us. So on this journey, she goes to this small town playing detective basically and researching to hopefully bring her friend back home safe and sound and alive. And while reading this book and she was in this small town, it reminded me of reasons I would not want to be in a small town. Because to me, although we always see on like the Hallmark movies or Lifetime movies or these Christmas movies or whatever, they're small, quaint, cute, safe. In this case, that's not what's going on. You've got cover-ups. You got, of course, everybody's kin to each other. Or, it's just the unideal situation when you're trying to look for a outside missing person, because when you come to a small town, you are an outsider. It's small, so everybody knows that you're new, that you don't belong there, that they're digging up something that they probably don't want dug up. So she dives in, and there's consequences to her asking questions and getting results. But she does find a safe place with one particular person, and that person really does help her, which is awesome. Because they're doing it for the right reasons. But yeah, this was a 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Love the book. It delved into, well, one part I thought was interesting was a part where there was some cheating discussed. I've never understood people cheating in their own homes. I will never understand why people will bring other people in their houses that they share with someone. That just seems like common sense to me, or like you want to be caught. But then I thought something else was interesting was how different people respond to stressors differently, and how things from childhood, how it really impacts us in our adulthood and in our everyday relationships. It's very interesting that if you don't get a handle on certain things or face them and try to heal from those things, how they will repeatedly show up over and over again. And sometimes you will self-sabotage things that really could have worked out for you. But yeah, it was interesting, very relatable, and all throughout the story, after the chapters, you get to kind of get insight into what the missing person Eve is thinking and going through, because she has a digital journal and she's writing out her thoughts and how she feels and why she's doing certain things. And then she knows something's wrong, but then sometimes that wrong thing feels right, or you do something and then you're upset later on that you did it, and it may have felt good in the moment. Like, I loved I like the perspective, like that at least she was, I guess, self-aware in certain instances and wanting to change at some point. But anyway, yes, I would strongly recommend picking up this book if you're looking for a mystery thriller, fiction book. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. My next book, I'm not quite sure. There were two books I had were referenced in the Essence magazine. I think it was in my May issue, maybe in April. I can't remember because they kind of combine the issues now. But two books they recommended was Black in Paris by Shay Youngblood. I thought this was a beautiful cover too. I love, love, love the butterflies. It doesn't really have, let me read the little blurb on the back because there's not really a synopsis in here. Let's see what it says. Paris, September 1986, early morning. She is lying on her back in a hard little bed with her eyes closed, dreaming in French. Langston was here. There's a black girl in Paris lying in a bed on the 5th floor of a hotel in the Latin Quarter. And it says here, by New York Times, it says, Black Girl in Paris is Shea Youngblood's love letter and her homage to the expatriates, I don't think I'm saying that right, who paved the way for those who followed. The poets and musicians and painters and singers. They are present here in fact and in spirit. Along with their thin wallets and the addresses of a few cheap hotels, young writers intending to run away to Paris might be wise to drop a copy of this one in their backpacks. The Los Angeles Times calls it an engaging and unpredictable portrait of an artist as a young black girl. And then the Washington Post calls it so textured and emotionally true. Let's see here. Oh, it's signed. Is this? I don't know who signed. That's not Youngblood. That's a different name. Somebody signed it in here. But yeah, I'm gonna check this out. Essence Magazine recommended this book. And then let's see. The other book that was recommended was called Love in Color. It's mythical tales from around the world retold. Now, I'm not sure about the pronunciation of this author, Babalu, I don't know, Bolu, Babalola. Oh, that might be right, because my son used to play with a little boy called Babasola. So Babalola. I think that's it. Bolu Babalola. So let's see what it tells me here. The synopsis says, a high-born Nigerian goddess feels beaten down and unappreciated by her gregarious lover and longs to be truly seen. A young businesswoman attempts to make a great leap in her company and an even greater one in her love life. A powerful Ghanaian spokeswoman is forced to decide whether to uphold her family's politics or to be true to her heart. Whether captured in the passion of love at first sight or realizing that self-love takes precedence over romantic connection, the characters in Babalola's vibrant stories face up to and navigate this most complex human emotion and try to capture his intangible essence. Bolu takes a step in decolonizing tropes of love and creates new stories inspired by the wildly beautiful and astonishingly diverse tales of romance and desire that already exist in so many communities and cultures. Transporting us across continents and perspectives, this collection shows that humanity, like love, comes in technicolor. So we shall see. These were a couple of the recommendations in Essence that we are going to check out and see which one we like the best and go from there. So I hope you enjoyed that book review and the 2 additional books that I may possibly be reading this next go around. Have an amazing Friday and an amazing weekend. Tell me what you're reading below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you are enjoying the content, and have an amazing Friday and weekend. Take care. Wishing you nothing but peace, positivity, and empowerment. Bye-bye.